We're outside the MBX Films Theater now showing Spider-Man Far From Home because I'm going to open up a Marvel Legends figure of Night Monkey. Finally, one of my favorite old comics from back in the day made into a movie with Night Monkey. You probably have never heard of it. Pretty small releases, only hardcore fans read Night Monkey comics, so you wouldn't have heard of him. Okay, it's just Spider-Man with a different suit, but let's go ahead and open this up and we'll talk about this costume in the movie and what the meaning of this was and why I'm very glad I'm opening it after seeing the film instead of before. So let's open up the Night Monkey. Just ignore this. It doesn't. No, it's not Spider-Man. No, 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 no. Alrighty, so this is the Build-A-Figure wave for Molten Man, or really the Fire Elemental. First up here, the description. Peter Parker gears up in an upgraded suit to take on new challenges. Upgraded? It has nothing, no. It's just, he just needed a different look so that it wasn't obvious that Spider-Man was following around his class. So it's not upgraded. People call it Stealth Suit Spider-Man. He did no stealth whatsoever in the movie either. So let's just open this up before I get too into it here. I said I'd open it up, so let's open it up. My God, it's so heavy just from this big ol'. Comes with a free licorice. Oh wait. Almost all the weight of this is this super chunky arm of the Build-A-Figure, so we will put this together once we get all the pieces in another video. We'll see that again soon. Not sure why my front had a number coded onto it. A little weird. Yow. Comes with the rock and roll hands here, or maybe for shooting web, probably. And the alternate head with the visor up so you can see the eyes. This one just comes with the fists and the visor down, so they didn't make a movable piece at all. But no real detail or paint on here other than the fingies and the silver of the goggles. On the odd chance you are lost, there is no Night Monkey comic book, there is no Night Monkey superhero, there's no connection, it wasn't a reference of any sort to, a Marvel's past. It was definitely just a made-up name on the spot by Peter's friend Ned. So it was a pretty awesome joke, but seeing this figure before the movie and all that stuff, people saying stealth suit Spider-Man. I mean, there is like a stealth suit Spider-Man in the comics, but it doesn't look like this, the big-time Spider-Man. But everybody expected some sort of shield work where he was doing a stealth mission. No, this suit, no stealth. He was in an outright fight with the Fire Elemental, the Molten Man. So anything, it was the farthest from stealth he could have had. It was his outright combat outfit. So I don't know why they went with this, like, secret agent Balaclava Splinter Cell dude costume for that, but I guess they didn't really have anything else on short notice to give him, since he asked for something else to help. But yeah, I would imagine anybody else opening this up before this was definitely banking on some crazy stealth shenanigans, and could not be farther from the truth. As far as the costume, comparing it to the movie, it's missing a lot of, like, maybe some silver details here and there, and just textures. Like, this is just smooth, and I think he was just a lot more textured in the movie. It was all black, but I think just some of the plain plastic on here is actually not particularly accurate to the movie, but with an all-black suit like this, and, I mean, the details in the head, you can, especially since you can swap the head to the goggles up, goggles down look. He's got his web shooting hands, so got that bit covered. So I definitely wanted this just because it was, I would say this was the better new costume, in a sense, in the Far From Home movie, because I wasn't a huge fan of the black and red. Ultimately, I'd rather just have the blue and red suit all the time, really, but that's my preferred Spider-Man look. But for trying to do different costumes in here, this doesn't really fit anything that's any comic reference, like, things like the Iron Spider-Man suit in Infinity War and at the very end of Homecoming, and what he uses in Endgame, and some of his other costumes, his homemade costume reference to, the comic books and things. But this suit's 100% Far From Home as far as reference material. It's its own invention, so it's cool because I collect these because I like the movie. I want to represent the movie. I'm not, trying to vicariously get comic book stuff through the representations in the movies. I just want actual movie represented stuff. So, and I love the joke of the Night Monkey that pretty much nobody believes. They're like, he has the exact powers of Spider-Man. Is like, fools almost no one. And the jail guard stealing the mask, looking like a dork, on the phone going, oh yeah, Night Monkey, yeah. Like the one guy that fell for it, I guess. But he does battle Mysterio, in this costume, and Mysterio's kind of projecting his other costumes over this. So it's actually featured quite a bit outside of even just the Molten Man fight. Yeah, this was a pure combat suit. I don't know why they didn't... why they went this stealthy look versus something more armored or more soldier-like, since he was clearly just gearing up to help Mysterio fight the fire elemental, although it was really all just a farce. He was just kind of dealing with Mysterio's show. But yeah, I love the joke of the Night Monkey, so having the figure is super funny. If you haven't seen the trailer, they did a Spider-Man Far From Home trailer that makes it just look like the movie's called Night Monkey and that he's his own superhero and stuff. That's a pretty funny watch. So let's swap to this other head that is pretty cool. They didn't do the flipping option for themselves, but they do have the head where it is up. That is cool. I'm not sure if I would display it with that. I do kind of just like having the eyes down. Probably swap in some web hands just to have him kind of in an action pose. Punching wasn't going to do a whole lot to the molten steel enemy he was facing, even though it was just an illusion. He's doing a lot of web work. Spider-Man's probably the least qualified in the end to fight a giant flame monster like that. But he did pretty well, ultimately because he was really just fighting drones, which he is pretty good at, dealing with just robotics and things. Webbing them up, slamming them around with his strength. I definitely felt like he was kind of outmatched if he was really fighting, the Molten Man like this. But that was a real enemy for Spider-Man, so he's definitely probably had some troubles with that versus maybe some of the other villains that are more susceptible to being webbed. Yeah, kind of a secret agent shield look, but movie-wise, calling it the stealth suit doesn't really apply all that much. But I did like, if you had to have something other than the traditional Spider-Man costume, that it is a heck of a lot better than his normal clothes with his sort of goofy costume mask, when they were in Italy. He's fighting the water elemental, the Hydro Man. And that'd be a pretty cool figure for me too, unless they end up doing the real deal Hydro Man, which would be preferred to me. That was always one of my favorite Spider-Man villains. So yes, Spider-Man as his Night Monkey disguise. I don't know if we'll be seeing Night Monkey ever again, but it was fun while it lasted, and I'm glad to have the figure just to represent the movie, because that movie's kind of pretty fond memories of going to see that with my family, so pretty cool addition for the MCU Spider-Man figures. Night Monkey.